Hello, it's the Sinister Gambino here with a new video. And in this video, I will be making a review and guide video on the Buzzard Attack Chopper. And there's a couple reasons why I'm doing this. One is claim that it is going to be a free vehicle purchase on one of 5 days where Rockstar is giving gifts. It is also a very viable vehicle even to this day, even with all the constant weaponized vehicles, and even with the multiple attack choppers getting added in future updates, even beyond the initial release of GTA 5. The Buzzard Attack Chopper can be bought on Warstock Cash and Carry for $1,750,000. It is a Pegasus vehicle which can be turned into a personal vehicle when being put in a hangar. And the Meriwether Docks, as shown on the screen, is a good place to get a Buzzard Attack Chopper. If you do not want to purchase a Buzzard Attack Chopper or get on the day that may end up giving you a free purchase of the Buzzard Attack Chopper, according to leaks. As the Buzzard Attack Chopper was released before the Smuggler's Run DLC, it has very minuscule customization, only having a couple of options. The first one being the respray option, which is actually available in the hangar. And technically there's a customization for the windows, but only for the CO version of the Buzzard Attack Chopper, unfortunately. And even then, that was not until a certain update after the Executives and Other Criminals update. As for performance of the Buzzard Attack Chopper, it is 10th place in lap time and 9th place in top speed. For the exact times and miles per hour, you can refer to Bruffy1322, who will be linked in the description. But the lap time and the top speed of it is only better than the Annihilator and Savage attack helicopters. All its other competitors are better in both lap time and top speed. After mentioning the performance, I wanted to see how the Buzzard would do in a contact mission, and it did very well. However, one exception is that since this is really the only major mode where you can really use the Buzzard, aside from when it's scripted for you to use the Buzzard. For example, the heists, you can't normally call helicopters from your interaction menu for personal helicopters, nor can you really use Pegasus helicopters either. But aside from mentioning that it's really well in terms of contact missions, I made a list of pros and cons. So my first pros is that it is maneuverable, nimble, and agile, aside from a couple situations which I'll get into for the cons. Average altitude gain and agility. It's nothing too much to write home about anymore, especially nowadays in Grand Theft Auto Online, but it's definitely alright how it is without it having modifications such as engine upgrades, since it's a vehicle from before Smuggler's Run. I put the pro of no machine gun nerf. The reason I put this is because the Annihilator in the episodes of Liberty City had explosive rounds, wherein Grand Theft Auto 4 it had normal rounds. But with Grand Theft Auto Online, which by the way Annihilator is not in single player for some reason, they went back to normal rounds. It's good at evading missiles. I feel like even the best I feel like the best of pilots might be able to even avoid one of the most super accurate missiles in the game, here and there, if good enough. It can manage tight spaces with how nimble, agile, and whatnot it is, along with the size of it. Has proper back seats, and what I mean by that is that it's back seats where you can use like your flare guns, your RPGs, explosive sniper rifles, and even other sniper rifles as well. Fair price for the time. At the time that the Buzzard was released, there wasn't really big inflation. So that's a pro right there. But the price can use some adjustments, as I'll get into later as well. And last but not least, for the pros, it can be spawned next to you with the CEO, which I give an example of that with this current gameplay me doing Headhunter. The cons, however, is that it's slowly being outclassed. I was gonna say it was becoming obsolete, but as long as this is like the only attack helicopter that can be like instantly spawned, the Buzzard will still have a pretty good place in the game. But it's becoming outclassed by, for example, the Savage was like the first one that really outclassed it with the explosive cannon that the pilot can use. The Valkyrie, I don't really feel like that one outclassed it. But however, it's been especially getting outclassed as of mid-2017 with the release of the FH-1 Hunter, which actually lets you do something that I'm going to be mentioning later on with the cons. The FH-1 Hunter is super weaponized and maneuverable and whatnot, while the Sea Sparrow is pretty much just like this, so it can go on water and it has no cooldown on the missiles. However, there is a trade-off that you can only have one weapon. You can have the machine gun or the missiles. And then the Akula with its stealth capability is another great example. So it is unfortunately becoming really outclassed, and it's been surviving the times really well. Machine guns are pretty ineffective, aside from when you're like dogfighting another like helicopter with a lot of class, I suppose. It has terrible sway. What I mean by that is like when it moves down, it can only go like 45 to like 60 degrees as compared to the Hunter. Though lack of purchase incentives, unfortunately, like I've shown, you can just go to the Merryweather docks and it's almost a guaranteed spawn. And the price is lackluster because like other helicopters are only like a couple 100,000 to a few 100,000 away, and they provide much more benefits, like I've mentioned earlier. Finally, I want to show some gameplay showcasing how nimble exactly the Buzzard can be. So I decided to start a hostile takeover and go right into a hangar with it to collect the crate and go out of it pretty much unharmed. So I also wanted to mention a couple things I forgot. You can spawn the vehicle next to you for free if you buy it for the 1.75 million. So that can be worth it, because buying 70 of these for a minimum of 25,000, if not 30,000, it's one of those two prices, I'm sure of it, will be the equivalent of buying it. So just using $25,000 to use the Buzzard whenever you want is basically gonna mean you're buying this, but at the same time you don't have it for good. And also the lack of purchase incentives, I don't consider that too big of a problem, but it was still a noticeable enough con for me to mark it as a con I wanted to discuss. especially when the specific spot I showed, the Buzzard and the Cargo Bob, are the only two helicopters that spawn there. Meaning you have like half of a chance to get the Buzzard, and the other half of the chances will let you get the Cargo Bob. So the Cargo Bob over there will be good for import-export as well, I should bring up. However, the Cargo Bob might be for another review. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to bring up. And don't forget that according to leaks, you might want to log in for this vehicle. Not sure what day it's gonna be, but just keep logging in for the Christmas gifts. And then one of them, according to the leaks, will be a free purchase of the Buzzard Attack Chopper. I totally recommend this vehicle, despite the 5 cons. I had 8 pros after all, so it's good enough to have more pros than cons. And I rate this vehicle a 9.25 out of 10, mainly because of the fact that there's a bunch more attack helicopters that's been coming out within like the past year to year and a half. And they're all outclassing the Buzzard. So I wanted to give it a really high rating, but at the same time give it something unique compared to other helicopters, which are going to be getting higher scores. But anyways, that's going to be it for this review / guide of the Buzzard Attack Chopper. Hope you enjoyed.